Yeah, I just tried to record some videos properly, and I just had to. Oh, well, I ended up going mental at my fucking PC because of Windows. You know, I'd sat there for like 15 minutes trying to just get the bloody computer on, and I'm doing it every time now. Just pissing about, pressing the power button over and over again, and yeah, now Windows just pissed me off by just turning the computer off, decided it wanted to fucking update itself, disregarded all my fucking recording that, you know, should stop it essentially. So, you know, essentially should stop it from restarting, but it didn't, so I'm fucking back here recording in front of the TV. I don't care. Fucking pissed off. And I've slotted into my PS3, which I'm using for recording, International Moto for the International Moto X, sorry. The X was disguised by the guy on the bike on the front of the packaging, and it's for the PS1. So I think it always looks nice when you play a PS1 game on the PS3, and it, you know, you get the sharpness and the blockiness. I think it's kind of cool when you play a retro game and it's got blocky graphics. Because the last thing you want when you play fucking Jesus Christ, that Windows updating is just taking it out of me. Yeah, the last thing you want is, let's go for the big bikes. Can we change it? No. Can we change that? We can change that, but we can't change the bikes at the minute. Yeah, the last thing you want is graphics like on the Nintendo 64, all blurry and horrible. God, that is some basic graphics. At least it's vibrant, so I don't think it really matters. So we'll just jump in with a race. That's a badly detailed map. They're 3D though. And it's going to be sunny in England. God, this game's not realistic, is it? Right. So it's like X to accelerate as you'd expect. D-pad to turn, obviously. God, not best, is it? Kind of looks like something you could play on your mobile phone about 10 years ago. Hell yeah. So, the physics are messed up on this game, is my first impression. Apart from the terrible graphics, I mean, these wouldn't have been great graphics for its day, I don't think. But the physics just seem off. You know, as a mountain biker myself, I've got, you know, a basic understanding of how things get airborne and mud, and it just doesn't seem right. Pretty easy as well, although it is, I guess it is a novice cup or whatever, but you know, I'm lapping people here. Bloody hell, 5 laps? How long's the bloody course? Because I've already done 5 laps. Must be like 20 seconds a lap. Whoa. Would be nice to see some like road rash moves, like just hitting people, knocking them off the bikes. Best you can hope for in this is a bit of T-boning on the corners. I assume all the riders are made up names, never heard of any of them. When was this released? I'm just looking on the back of the thingamabob. The box, 1996, so a year or two after the release of the console, but still Ridge Racer looks better than this, and that was a launch title, so go figure. These loading screens are really bad. I don't just mean, you know, I mean, I'm taking into account, you know, the capabilities of the PlayStation, and these backgrounds, loading screens, whatever, you know, they're just bad. They're just crap and depressing. Really tacky and horrible. Probably actually suit the game though, I should point out, because the game is a bit of a horrible mess, it has to be said. Music's non-offensive. I think the PlayStation kind of went through a stage of just having generic dance music on every game. Well, the majority of games, should I say. Basically because, you know, Wipeout had a bit of success with it. It had like Chemical Brothers on and stuff like that. And another reason, I think, was just that you can't do bad singing on a game, you know, but you can do kind of bad house, techno, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I'm a DJ and I don't know what the fuck you call this. It's kind of like Scouse House but played at half speed or something. So for some reason the game has suddenly decided that it's gonna kick me in the face and I'm just last. So it kind of reeled me in there with a false sense of security, and now it's fucking, I had my pants down, it's just penetrated my arsehole to its fucking red raw. Is it going to continue? Peace Park. Should I really be like, oh, is that fucking repair cost? I don't want to be repairing, I want to be fucking tuning that shit up. You know what I mean? Dickheads. Oh, so I can, bit of engine, yeah, have that. Fucking fannies. So you got the modding and repairing, so that's pretty cool. Well, unfortunately, Super Hang-On had that, and that's a better game than this, let's face it, graphics wise, even though it might not be 3D. It's not always about polygons and processing power, it's visual style, and I've got to say Super Hang-On looks a hell of a lot better than this fucking muddy pile of vomit. Vomit's the word I'm looking for. Although it's kind of a bit colourful vomit, yeah. Like when you've been on the cocktails all night, or you've been on like the Blue Lagoons and it makes your shit turn green. Or, as well, WKD Blues do that if you drink a lot of them. And let's face it, if you're drinking WKD Blues, you have to drink a lot of them. In fact, you can't really get pissed off WKD. I think you can only get diabetes off it, because it's, you know, it's not an alcoholic beverage in my eyes. Not touched upon the draw distance on this game, it's rubbish, and I think they've basically gone out of their way to disguise it by just not having straights on any of the courses, so there's no speed to this game whatsoever. You can't get any speed up because they're just trying to mask the poor quality draw distance, or should I say non-existent draw distance. Oh wow, dynamic weather, wasn't expecting that. Get out of the way, you whore. Oh, it's got replays. I don't really want to watch a replay though, because it will hurt my eyes because the graphics are so rubbish. Skippity doodah through that. Tune up the old engine. Do whatever I can there. It's all about the power, you know what I mean? Nobody gives a shit about going around corners, even though this game wholly consists of going around corners. Can't really think of, I mean, there was the Moto Racer games on the PlayStation. I think they were your best bet for, you know, motorbike racing games. Yeah, I think it was a Jeremy McGrath Supercross game. I can't remember that many motorbike games on the PlayStation 1, to be honest. Whether that's because I didn't own any or I wasn't paying attention to them, I'm not sure. If you're after just a two-wheel fix, there is an interesting game. It's not necessarily that good, but I always thought it was a bit of a quirky title. Kind of like a cross between Grand Theft Auto and Paperboy. It's called Courier Crisis. So if a cross between Grand Theft Auto and Paperboy sounds good to you, then check that one out. It's definitely a weird game. I wonder if the Extreme series, I assume that the Extreme series had bikes in. If anyone can remember the first, was it? Might have been in association with the ESPN. I can't remember, but there was a game called Extreme, and that was an early PlayStation game. Kind of reminds me of a Mega Drive game called Skitchin, but with like 32-bit graphics. And there was also a sequel called 2 Extreme. So yeah, they're definitely kind of worth checking out. I mean, there's a lot of PlayStation games that I should pick up really. They're all going to be dirt cheap. The problem is though with the PlayStation, there's just so many games out there. I mean, my Sega Saturn collection, because the console, you know, got abandoned pretty, you know, after a few years or so, I've basically pretty much got a third of all the PAL games released for that console. But PlayStation, there's going to be over 1,000 games, I'm guessing. If not, you know, like 1,200 games for it. There's going to be a ton of games, and I could never really hope to get them all, so I kind of feel like I'd be pissing into the ocean trying to pick up a lot of PlayStation games. So that's what was it called again? That's how memorable it is. International Moto X for the PlayStation 1 by Warner Interactive, released in 1996. Not amazing. There's better motorbike games out there for the PlayStation and obviously other consoles. I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. It's not a great game. So yeah, pretty much avoid it, to be honest.